Well, the dust has settled over the past few weeks. There's been some real game-changing news when it came to self-publishing, everything from KDP to Ingram Spark and everything in between. And this week is no exception, although it's not quite as monumental. We're going to discuss things like, working with libraries and getting a book club established, to the recent changes in print fees over at KDP. So even a note from Ingram Spark about some of their more recent changes. And of course, the Kindle Vella pool has remained steady. We're going to talk about that in today's self-publishing news for May the 22nd of 2023.
Learn how to publish books and build your author business with award-winning author and self-publishing consultant Dale L. Roberts. This is the Self-Publishing with Dale podcast.
As per usual, we're just going to jump right into things because I want to first of all let you know that you can enter for a chance to win an ebook and print-ready cover design made by the fine folks over at Get Covers. When you enter for a chance over at dalelinks.com/getcoversgiveaway. The last winner just had a phenomenal ebook cover put together, valued at $10. I'm just going to say this, that it is made of magic and pixie dust because it is just stellar. I'm honestly, Get Covers is delivering some insane value, and you would be crazy. Even if you don't need a cover design right now, you should still enter to win for something like this. Highly recommend it. Go over to dalelinks.com/getcoversgiveaway. Let's go ahead and transition right on over here. KDP this past week did make some changes, and they've made it official that effective of June 20th of 2023, they will be changing the prices for the print books. Now, this is across the board, and I did a live broadcast over on my main channel, and it kind of ruffled a few feathers because I think I made light of some of those changes. And I understand that some of you have seen a significant increase in the price of your book, but that is inflation. Inflation is inevitable. It's not me trying to downplay how you feel about it. Yes, you can be angry. Yes, you can be upset. But yes, you need to be proactive and make those changes or leave the platform. That's really what it comes down to. This is the world of print on demand. You don't like it, don't play the game. And that's really, like, you can try to fight this, but this comes from beyond Amazon, because prior to any of this changes coming out, other platforms like Barnes & Noble Press, Draft Digital, Ingram Spark, Lulu, they'd already changed increased their prices since 2020 in the set of pandemic. Because in the set of the pandemic, the resources became really tapped, and so then it all became more expensive. KDP did not change their prices. They're finally changing it. I'm sorry if that has been a substantial hit on your business, but now you've got to adjust, and you have to figure out how can you be able to pivot that specific direction, because we can't change it. And as much as you would like to complain about it, this comes from a source beyond Amazon where they're getting their print resources from. So hate to rant on something like this, but I see a lot of people that are attacking me for this change, and for me feeling like they feel like I've invalidated them. No, I'm not invalidating you. I know it stinks, but it is what it is. So you got to figure out what you can do with it. And that's really kind of a nice thing that I've been putting together, this print on demand series where I've been comparing different companies on my main channel. Use those as a resource to figure out, do you need to leave KDP or do you stick with them? That's up to you. You're in charge of your business, not me. So ultimately it comes down to what you think and how you would like to react. All right. Speaking of reacting, I got to react to this one right here. Alessandra Torre, a good friend and a former guest here of the channel. She's also the founder of InkersCon, put out a phenomenal email to the people that go to InkersCon. If you're subscribed to InkersCon, you can always get all this information. She sends out a weekly email newsletter. And this past week, she actually shared how to get local book clubs to be your super fans. So she actually had a big surplus of books in her hands, and she was getting ready to move. And so she's like, what do I do with all these things? I can't take it with me. She didn't have the room. So she said, my problem revealed an interesting solution when I called my local library to discuss donating the titles. They had a unique and better solution that might be of interest to you: book club kits. Now, see, book club kits are actually starting to pop up all over here in Columbus. And my wife and I have actually seen some kits. They even have like one for like, it includes a ukulele. Yeah, big shout out to my friend Susan Montgomery. They have ukuleles that you can actually pick up, and there's a book and an audio thing that comes along with it, and you can learn it. Now, these book club kits are kind of the same thing. So each library has different requirements, but for my local library, they ask for 10 to 20 paperback copies of a title in order to create a book club kit. The kit allows the local club to all read a book at a certain time. Most libraries don't have a lot of kits available, so the chance of your kit being used is high. I assembled 10 kits of 5 titles, and whoosh, 100 of my extra books were taken care of. Not only that, the idea of local book clubs reading my book filled me with lots of hope and happiness. So I've said this so many times. I'm a big nerd when it comes to libraries, and I believe that you should support your local library in some capacity. Give it a shot. Let me know how it goes. And of course, I'm just going to give a quick plug over to inkers.com or inkerscon.com. They actually have an event coming up here in June the 9th to the 11th. No, I will not be there. It's in Dallas, Texas. I was there last year. It was a phenomenal event. Really, really good. Well worth the trip and well worth the expense. Highly recommend it. And if you can't make it, you can always do the digital launch. That will be on July 22nd to August the 6th. Well worth it. Going on over here into Kobo Writing Life is actually going to be having a very unique opportunity here with Sue Campbell talking about the book marketing mindset. That's going to be on May 25th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And they're going to be talking a little bit more about book marketing. And if you're like me, I'm going to go ahead. I've already turned notifications on so I can tune into this. Kobo Writing Life has one of the best live podcast recordings that I've seen on YouTube. Honestly, I really love what they do and what Drafted Digital do for the people that work with them and for their account holders. So go check out that broadcast. Speaking of broadcast, I was just mentioning Drafted Digital. My good buddy, Mark Leslie Lefebvre, and one of my favorite authors, is going to be hosting a little bit of a workshop, if you will, a free workshop. You can go ahead and join this. Are you looking to optimize your wide digital sales? Register for free. All you got to do is head on over to their link. Of course, I have all the links inside the show notes as per usual. This is going to be on May 25th at 12 p.m. That's going to be at the same time as Kobo Writing Life. So I'm not sure how I'm going to split my attention, but you're going to find out a lot more about publishing wide. Gold and Platinum members receive video recordings for all speakers in addition to exclusive access to select speaker events. So right now it's free. I would say take advantage of it if you can go and watch it. So chances are very likely maybe I'll go and watch Mark for a little bit and go on over check out Kobo Writing Life that same day. Moving a little further forward, if I have not talked about Reedsy enough, I think it's time that I go ahead and push this even further on you. Visit reedsy.com. That's reedsy.com. Get yourself subscribed to their email newsletter because Ricardo Fayette puts out some seriously really good, high-value email broadcasts that cover a lot of this business of self-publishing. It does a lot of different split tests and figuring out things. And in this past week, he talked a little bit about writing your book description with artificial intelligence. Yes, artificial intelligence isn't just merely about quote unquote plagiarizing people's things. Believe it or not, it can help you out a lot. So if you find yourself stuck in a position that you're like, I don't know what to write about, I don't know what I need to do, what Ricardo does is he sits down and he breaks it down piece by piece, discussing, the different areas like using Chat GPT, Google Bard, Bing Chat, all these various things to put together a book description based on some of the things you already know about it, or even giving them a rough book description to clean up for you. I've actually been using Chat GPT with some great success. Now, just so you know, does it always come out great? No. Sometimes it comes out a little wonky. You're going to need to clean it up a little bit. Some word usage you don't want to use. One little bit of a little hack I'm going to share with all of you is if you have some keywords that you want to organically work within your book description for the Amazon platform, ask AI to include those keywords organically within the actual book description itself. It's actually really neat. And I'm not sure if Ricardo covered that, but all that to say this is definitely get yourself subscribed to Reedsy. This has been 2 weeks that he's been talking a little bit about AI and the repercussions and also some of the things that actually are good for this business. And things like this is one of those specific instances. Let's go a little further forward here with the fine folks over at Lulu. They actually just announced their new binding types for 5x8. We're excited to announce expanded book binding options for our 5x8 books. In addition to our classic paperback, we now offer coil bound, case wrap, and saddle stitch binding options. Next to Ingram Spark, Lulu has quite possibly the largest array of trim sizes available. And in my opinion, Lulu, their quality print is just stellar, because you could take KDP and you can take Ingram Spark and you can take Barnes & Noble Press and you can take Blurb and put them all side by side, and they're relatively the same. I've always found when you put Lulu next to the other ones, it's just a little different, and to me, it's a little better. Just my opinion here, folks, so please don't kill me for that one. So it's really cool to see that they're continuing to broaden what they're offering for their trim sizes as well as their binding options. So I'd never thought about binding options being something for you guys to look into, but definitely something to consider for sure. Fine folks over at Story Origin, I'd mentioned real briefly about how you can build your own website over there. They have deployed an update to the website builder feature on Story Origin. By the way, Story Origin, great author marketing tool, one of my favorites. Now you can add all of your author profile links to your homepage. So if for some reason you're on Amazon, you're on BookBub, you're on Goodreads, you can now add that to that. By the way, you can get all that information over on Story Origin by visiting my affiliate link at dalelinks.com/storyorigin. Straight from the desk over at Ingram Spark is Paige Allen, the director of Ingram Spark, actually just put out, I guess she's still acting, put out a great piece about the recent changes, about the upload fee drop, the mentioning the 1% global access fee. I talked about this in the previous weeks, but in this particular week, what she wanted to do was offer you a little bit of insights on, what you need to do to sell and promote your stuff. And a few of the items I found very insightful. So what can I can offer today is the following. If you really want to get a little bit more sales, add new keywords, Bizacs, rewards, and reviews to your title information. So if your book has had a review or a reward of some sort, make sure you add that to your descriptions or any type of relevant areas. Analyze your list price, compare your title's price to similar books in the market. And this is the one that blew my mind. This one I was not aware of. Select yes. Now that's on the returns one, and give me just a second because I'm going to tell you my opinion in just a second. I know. There are some inherent risks. Yes, Paige, you think? Around returns, but to avoid your title is temporarily out of stock or ships in 1 to 2 weeks, messaging across large online retail websites, favorable return selection is necessary. So what she is saying is, if you want to avoid that temporarily out of stock thing or ships in 1 to 2 weeks option, she wants you to select yes for taking returns. Now, that right there is a very dangerous game to play. Yes, there is inherent risks in that. Does it happen to everybody? No, but there have been a select few, and I've even talked to a couple authors. One of them was out in the UK at one point or another, and she was going to have to owe upwards of $10,000 from returns. I am not exaggerating that, $10,000. They were able to cut it down in half by $5,000, and then when we finally were able to kind of put a little bit of pressure on Ingram Spark, they just waved it all together. But this is absolutely insane. What happens is by putting returns on your book through Ingram Spark, you're agreeing that if somebody decides to get a refund or return, you can either get the book back yourself in whatever shape it's going to be, and you're going to have to pay for the shipping, you're going to have to pay for the costs that the person had to pay for, or you can have it destroyed. And in instances like that, you just pay for the base cost, you just eat it, and there's that. That sucks. Don't like that. Not a fan of that. I am not the type of person who's going to be a risk taker. So, Paige, love the advice. Not sure I'm going to go ahead. I'll just go ahead and just deal with the temporarily out of stock sign or ships in 1 to 2 weeks. The other things that, of course, she mentioned were something that they've always said, which is provide a market discount above 40%. And lastly, go global. Say that 10 times fast. And speaking of Ingram Spark, they actually have what's called the Spark Tour 2023. We want to hear from you. The tour stop in San Diego, London, New York City, Austin, and Nashville this year. About the tour, Ingram Spark authors and publishers will participate in 90-minute focus groups discussions about their publishing journey. Participants will be asked questions like, why did you publish your book? What challenges did you face as you were publishing your book? And how did Ingram Spark impact your publishing journey? Win a trip to Nashville. Register your interest in attending a focus group sessions on the Spark Tour, and you can win a trip to visit us in our hometown of Nashville, Tennessee. What, Ingram Spark? Where's the love? I'd love to come out and visit you guys. Come on now. I'll bring my camera, bring a couple people along. We'll have a little bit of fun. But one lucky winner will meet with Ingram staff and participate in a tour of our Lightning Source facility in Laverne, Tennessee, a short distance from Nashville. Airfare, hotel accommodations, and meals are included in the prize package. Folks, go get yourself registered to enter something like that. That's a pretty good deal. Speaking good deal, this is not bad news. I guess it's just a kind of a it's a plateau, if you will. Kindle Vella had just announced their April bonus, and it's right now, the bonus pool is at $1 million. It's still holding at $1 million. It's not nothing, but it's not an increase, which does kind of, in my opinion, draw a little bit of concern, because if I don't see this increasing, what does that mean? Are we seeing more readership? Are we seeing less readership? Is the readership just the same? But if you have earned a bonus for April, you should have received an email about that. For the month of April, stories are rewarded based on share of overall customer activity, such as faves, follows, and token redemption, as well as publishing activity. I've had my share of thoughts when it comes to Kindle Vella, but they do have that bonus pool. Hey, by the way, if you happen to be watching this on the broadcast, you might have noticed that I've been wearing a new shirt here. Yes, this is my own merch. And as well, I've got a nice new hat with my logo on that. You can go ahead and visit my spring store in the link inside the description here, and use the coupon code of YTShopping25 to get 25% off for a limited time. They don't say how long that 25% off is good for, but you may want to go ahead and get your merch as soon as humanly possible. And as well, I've got other things beyond just this shirt and those hats. Got some stickers and other shirts and things like that. So go visit my shop. Again, the link is inside the description. And then, of course, enter for your chance to win a ebook and print ready cover design made by the folks over at Get Covers when you visit dalelinks.com/getcovers giveaway. The deadline is by June 6th, but if you missed that, you can always go ahead and enter for the next contests. So in the meantime, what did you think about some of these pieces of news? Was there anything that I might have missed? Let me know over on Discord inside our community at dalelinks.com/discord. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll chat with you next week.
You've been listening to the Self-Publishing with Dale podcast. Visit us at selfpublishingwithdale.com for more information on how you can level up your self-publishing business. Also, check out our growing video-on-demand service, chock full of free and premium content, when you head over to theselfpublishinghub.com. If you enjoyed the show, please consider leaving a review on your preferred podcasting platform. We thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode.